much. How are you? Yeah, we're good to see you. Great to see you.
Welcome, everybody. That's where y'all say, good to see you, Governor. Hey, thanks, everybody, for being here. And thank you, guys. We got a lot of people from the legislature, different groups around the state that support our efforts to shift the focus. Y'all can have a seat. Y'all can have a seat. That's going to shift the focus in education back to educating our young people instead of politics and indoctrination in our colleges and our universities. Oklahomans, I've been to all 77 counties. I've met with Oklahomans all over the state. And people in Oklahoma, and I think nationally, they're tired of talking about things that divide us. I really believe that. I believe people are tired of that. They want to talk about things that unite us. You know, you guys have heard me say this before. Let Washington, D.C. play politics. We're all Oklahomans. Let's just go out and make our state the very best state it can be. And that's the best state for education, our young people. We can all agree on that. We want the best opportunities for that next generation. We want the best roads and bridges. We want the best economy. We all win when we get our economy going. And that's what myself and all the folks behind me we're focusing on, is making Oklahoma top 10. Let's do what's best for our students and get them ready for the workforce. I want every kid graduating from high school either college ready or career ready, okay? We want every kid that graduates from the University of Oklahoma or Oklahoma State or all of our regional colleges ready for that workforce as well. Colleges and universities, they need to spend fewer tax dollars and student tuition dollars stop spending this on anything except getting the kids ready for the workforce, I guess is really what I'm trying to say. We need to stop sending six-figure salaries to DEI staff and more on preparing students to get that job and to have a successful career. We're taking politics with my executive order. We're going to take politics out of education and let's just go help kids. Right? That's what we're all here to do. That's what our education system's supposed to do. So don't worry about what they look like or how they identify. Let's just go help kids get ready for the workforce. We want to make sure underserved communities are supported. We want to focus on first-generation college students. Then make sure that they have every opportunity to go get the education that they want. Not because of how they look, but because we believe in equal opportunities for everybody, right? I think we're doing a disservice to the next generation or to anybody to say that there's such thing as equal outcomes. There's no such thing as equal outcomes, but we want equal opportunities for everyone, regardless of your race or where you come from or your background. We want to make sure that's available for everybody. And then we want to teach our young people that based on your merit and your hard work, that's how you get ahead. And we want to make sure that we don't lie to the next generation. You're going to have to work hard. Life is not always fair. You're going to have to you're going to have to persevere through life to get ahead. So I'm signing the executive order today to remind all state-funded institutions that we see all Oklahomans as equal, regardless of race, color, sex, ethnicity, or national origin. And I also want to introduce, we've got a special guest with us today. I was trying to figure out, you know, who to kind of represent and speak on this behalf. And so I thought, well, let's just have a college student that maybe looks different than I do, but is a great Oklahoman, a great college student, and God has a wonderful plan for her life. And it's because of who she is, not what she looks like. And so I want to introduce Tamara Neely. She's a student at OU, and I want you to hear her story. And then I'm going to sign this executive order. So Tamara, come on up.
Well, I want to first start off by saying thank you so much, Governor Stitt, for this opportunity to speak today. Just a little bit of background about me. Well, I don't look like some of you in the room, right? You know, I'm my own person and I'm African American. So, yeah, but I want to say that I'm a senior at the University of Oklahoma. I'm majoring in economics with a minor in communications. And just a little bit about my story. I grew up, you know, in Northwest Oklahoma City. My mom was a single mom, but she taught me to work hard and to dream big. And she told me, life is not going to be easy, Tamara. You have to work hard. And I remember, and this is a story I want to tell today because hopefully this inspires some young people out there to follow your dreams no matter what. I remember the first time I took the ACT test and I failed. I did horrible. And I went home and I was crying. And I'm like, I really did bad. And the University of Oklahoma, they waitlisted me. And I remember my aunt and I were flying back from Florida. It was my senior trip. And we were flying back home to Oklahoma. And she said, that doesn't mean it's a no. It just means not yet. It means work harder. And so this legislation is important because it challenges students from all around Oklahoma and the country to not only try, but do your best. And we have to raise the standard. We have to raise the bar. So thank you, Governor Stitt, for everything you've done here today. And just remember that we're all equal in God's eyes. We're one human race. We're one people. We're one Oklahoma. God bless you and happy holidays.
Let's open it up for a few questions.
Governor, what is your executive order say specifically?
So it's specifically just, it says follow the law. You know, the United States Supreme Court just recently in Students for Fair Admissions versus President and Fellows of Harvard College basically just said, we're going to eliminate racial discrimination, which means eliminate all of it. And there's an equal protection clause. Even our state constitution says very, very similar things. We prohibit the state from granting preferential treatment or discrimination of any kind based on race. And so that's basically what it says. It says we're going to stop using state dollars for DEI officers. Let's literally focus on the kids, use those monies to educate kids instead of trying to preferential treat people based on their race. So that's what it says. But also, I think it's important. It highlights and says, let's work on supporting first-generation college students, regardless of their race. Let's make sure that we talk about that. We talk about students from low-income families. Isn't that really what we're trying to do here? People look at me and they don't think I'm disadvantaged, but did you know that I am part Indian? So when you talk about race, it's like, what is race? What do we have to? How much of it is? How much Indian do you have to be? So we're talking about students with unique abilities. We're talking about underserved student populations. So that it goes through that. I'll give you a copy of the executive order, but that's basically what we're saying. We have too many. We're spending too much state dollars on DEI officers, and we need to stop that in the state of Oklahoma.
The press release mentioned the review of DEI policies. Is there a timeline you want to put in place for these schools? Do you want that information back to them? How do they go forward for this executive order?
Yeah, so we're asking all the state agencies, including the universities, to report back by May of 2024 on exactly what they're spending on DEI. And we need to give that report back to the legislature. So we've asked for a report back to myself, to the leadership in the Senate, and the leadership in the House as well. That'll be given over to the appropriations chairs, and obviously all the Senate and the House members will be here to review that data. So it'll be May of 2024.
Governor Stitt, you mentioned first-time college students. I don't know if you're aware, but some of the activity that DEI offices on college campuses do is to help people like first-time college students, veterans, maybe those are two examples I can think of off the top of my head that are, students being helped not specifically because of their race or ethnicity or anything like that. Are you concerned that, potentially limiting DEI activity on campuses could actually potentially have the adverse effect on first-time college students and veterans?
Not at all. I specifically, I encourage that. I encourage low-income areas. That's called an admission office. So we want that in our universities. Obviously, we want them recruiting, and we want them, applying the same standards across the board. But I specifically, in this order, have said I encourage them to look for low-income areas and encourage you to look for first-generation college students. But to me, that's an admissions office.
One more question. Many of the federally funded programs ask that there be DEI requirements to get grants and federal funding for some colleges. So how would this hinder colleges in Oklahoma if you didn't have those programs as far as funding is concerned?
There's always the people that'll say, well, it's the accreditation officers that are forcing us to do this or that. We'll cross that bridge when it comes, whether it's accreditation or not. I represent 4 million Oklahomans as the governor. I've heard from all over the state that they're just tired of wasting our dollars on something that tries to divide us. And in Oklahoma, we're a melting pot, and we have a great communities, whether it's our Hispanic community in Oklahoma, it's about 12% of our population, our African-American community. But let's admit people based on their merits, and let's not discriminate based on race. That's all we're saying here. And so that's the big point, and we can nuance everything. We want to be top 10 in education in Oklahoma, and let's get back to the basics, and let's stop trying to divide Oklahomans. And that's really what we're trying to say here today. So thank y'all so much.